I mean, they're gone. On top of all the quarter ounce Noah's Arks and most of the 1 ounce, 70,000 ounces used to last a long time. Now it lasts less than a week, 4 or 5 days. And I think this is emblematic of a growing interest amongst the mainstream. We're seeing more and more people enter into this market, and they're all looking for silver. It used to be that no one really bought silver. Most of my career, the business centered around purchasing of gold. And in looking at the numbers over the last 2 years, which have been record volume, 4 or 5 times normal volume over the last 2 years, over 95% of every single order that we've done for the last 2 years has been comprised completely of or a portion of silver. And it's becoming very difficult to keep product in stock because really, as I've said over and over and over again, what defines a precious metals bull market is the fact that your motivation is centered more around concern rather than it is profit. And when you look at traditional investments, you're often told to play with the house's money. When you make a profit, sell some, leave some on the table, play with the house's money, reallocate it, do something else. But that doesn't happen here. No one wants to sell anything right now. You certainly have to work harder to keep supply rotating in and out. And those 70,000 coins we bought were from another dealer who bought more than he thought he could sell. So fortunately, we have a good relationship, not just with the big distributors and the mints, but also a network of dealers who I've known for 3 decades, some of which oftentimes have excess inventory to sell. But even deals like that are becoming harder to get. You know, you look at things like the Call of the Wild series that are so popular from the Royal Canadian Mint, both gold and silver. You cannot find those to save your life. Or some of the specials that came out of the Perth Mint, the saltwater crocodile or the funnel web spider. These are coins that, you know, I used to love to tell people to buy. They were limited mintage, but we could always find them. Can't find them. And you're beginning to see that now with more common stuff. Even like gold Krugerrands are becoming really, really hard to find. And, you know I keep saying it. I sound like a broken record, but my motivation centers around the fact that I believe we will see a continued expansion into the mainstream, a realization for most people who haven't realized what's happening yet for some crazy reason. A lot of us can't believe that those people haven't realized it yet. And we bang our head against the wall. Why doesn't my best friend? Why doesn't my mom? Why don't they see what's happening? And you try with such frustration to help them, only to realize that the old adage, shooting the messenger, no one wants to hear it. When there is a realization, and often with the public, the realization to do something is after the move has been established, far too late for it to have a meaningful impact. When that realization happens, this in my mind's eye is when I see everything blowing up. When what is a very difficult environment to source product now, when it's just all of us, when you see all of us plus all of the people out there who you've been wanting to help yourselves out of nobility, I'm going to help my friends, I'm going to talk to them about it. When they come back to you and say, where did you get that gold? Why didn't I buy it? That's when it will become impossible to find. So I know I sound like a broken record. I know I sound like the little boy who cries wolf, but when I look at or make a statement, I am thinking in my mind's eye out into the future. And I've always had a curse of being way early, but it's better than being 60 seconds late. That I can promise you, Dunnigan. And that's where the things that I've talked about regarding supply emanate from, because I do believe before this is all said and done, you will have to literally be underneath a rock to not notice the value and the importance of owning precious metals when this whole system starts to break apart. I can tell you that as a company yesterday, we did north of 260 orders. Now, we're not an online company. And so, you know, it's one thing to click 260 times. It's another thing to have 260 conversations that lead to transactions. And so that's a very big day. And especially if you were to annualize that out, you know, you're talking what, 11, 12, 1,300 a week on a 5-day week times 52. I mean, you're talking a lot of transactions. And that's how things are disappearing, is that more and more people are waking up to this and looking for ways to preserve, and which again just needs to bear mentioning that this is not an investment, this is wealth. And I think more people are looking at gold and silver as wealth, less as an investment. And that's really the foundation, I think, that you need to look at this about, because it then directs you in the right place. You're not looking to buy high-grade numismatics. You're not looking to make a killing. You're not looking for rare stuff. Yeah, if you've been doing this forever, that's great. The cherry on the sundae is great. But what you should be looking at is accumulating wealth, non-subjective liquid wealth, at a period of time when the currencies of the world are rapidly being debased, and with no sign in sight, no sign of that ending in sight. And I think that'll happen. And, rumor is Elon Musk is buying a silver mine. So, I mean, now that's just a rumor. I don't know if that's true, but when you see that type of rhetoric, that tells you it's the duality of demand that silver possesses in a world that has experienced a monetary renaissance in it, and escalating and increasing demand in industrial demand. It's bound to happen. And the industrials, I think, at some point will get into a major fight with the hedge funds. It'll be about value investing versus the necessity of silver in all of the industrial components that are growing. So we're not quite there yet, but maybe we're really close when you see that type of discussion, and when you see the Central Bank of India import 39.92 million troy ounces of silver. It's happening. You just have to take a step back and realize that price is a tool of misdirection. And you have 4 commercial banks that are controlling the price of gold and silver. That can't end well when the whole world is accumulating it. That's a very, very, that's a big ask to be able to hold back the price when the rest of the world is trying to buy it. One large investor could clean out the industry. I mean, they really could. Someone who's a centimillionaire could pretty quick start to disrupt this entire industry. Few $100 million, and it would be difficult to get anything from anybody the next day. You don't have to experience a run on the COMEX to see the COMEX kind of cease. You could just see a massive run into the eligible category rather than the registered. And you're seeing a lot of that happening. Like, for example, the giant whale on COMEX Gold, who has 40,000 gold contracts, over 4 million. Now, he hasn't taken delivery yet, but these are held in his eligible account. They are not registered. This is in strong hands. If more and more people start taking large interest, start taking position on COMEX and pulling metal off of the eligible or the registered category into eligible, I think you'll see a problem. I don't know that the retail community will have the ability to break COMEX. Part of me, I think COMEX is already broken. I think the retail public will add to the dysfunction of COMEX.